He died and did an amazing job. Hello. Sorry about the impromptu nature of this, but I was just gonna have a night off. And I thought, oh, what would I do? I'd sit on the couch and have a beer, so I might as well do that here. It's only a few minutes, isn't it? And I've got a recommendation for you. So, Midnight Mass, that was great when I recommended that. Some of the cast got in touch and the creator got in touch and thanked me, and it was lovely. So yeah, and I understand that a lot of you started watching it and liked it. Well, I've got a new one. Well, it's not a new one, it's an old one. You might have even heard of it, you probably even watched it. Called Borgen, right? Now, I'd heard about it at the time when I started getting into Scandi stuff, like The Bridge and The Killing and all those things, and you know, I resisted that because it was political, and I've always found politics a bit boring. But then I watched Baron Noir, and I just got sucked in, and I've started watching Borgen, and I'm already on the second series. It's brilliant because it is a political drama, but it's about so much more as well. It's about the relationships. You see all their home lives as well as what's happening in the world, and I love it because it's about my favourite themes. It is about like relationships and conflict, and you know, changing the world versus your own family. Those conflicts, like it's about integrity and compromise, and why you compromise, and hypocrisy and secrecy. Mainly, it's about alliances. It's like warring, but with lawyers and agreements, but to stay in power. And it's about, like, I suppose it's about, you might be doing the right thing, but that might lose you the election. So what do? Do you do the right thing, but not get in power and not be able to do it? Or compromise a bit, or align yourself with someone who you fucking hate, but it might get you a bit of it. So it's about, you know, it's about pragmatism and principle. It's great. Start it. And the good thing is it's got 3 series and 1 coming. So if you enjoy it, yeah. And it's set in Copenhagen, and we're going to Copenhagen soon. It's playing a little 13,000 seater in Copenhagen. So that's on Jane's birthday. So I mean, I said that's really a birthday present, isn't it? Free tickets to a Ricky Gervais gig. She could not believe her luck. I said, you're coming on the plane with me, sit up with me, right? And you get in to the, I said, get in for half price. But then I said, listen, it's your birthday. You can get in free. Imagine if that was true. Like, what would I have to, I don't know what condition I'd have to be in mentally to think, that'd be a good idea. Jane, happy birthday, here's free tickets to my gig. Good. It'd be good to do that, wouldn't it? I still got questions. So yeah, Borgen. Try it. Enjoy it. Midnight Mass, if you haven't tried that. When the Dust Settles, if you haven't tried that. Good. Gunner's straight in there. Please say happy birthday to the Bollocks Gang premium member, the bestest vampire squirrel. Happy birthday, Vampers. He's got a question as well. Why have you never done SNL? I've been offered SNL many times. In fact, they actually said I could just do it whenever I want. And the reason I didn't do it in the early days, like I've been offered it for like, I don't know, 15 years, right? But the reason I didn't do it initially was because it was the only thing you could do. It would be a week in New York, and that's the only thing you could do, because you'd be there every day and every night. And that means I couldn't do, like, you know, Letterman and 5 other shows. So I always chose to do those. But actually now I don't really have to do a lot of publicity, because it's on Netflix and they send out an email to 200 million people. I think I should do it. I should put it in I should do one. It'd be good. The thing is, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to do anything. I like the work. I absolutely love the work still. I love writing, directing. I love stand-up. I love coming up. I love that more, as much as I have, and probably more than I ever did. But I don't like all the other shit. I don't like having to sit down and do an interview. You know? It's like, it's angsty. Because if you do like a posh paper, they're always trying to get an angle and psychoanalyse you. And it's more about them. It's more about them. What, you know, they want to win a prize for that interview. I just want people to fucking watch the show. So an interview for me would be, here's a picture of Ricky. He's got a show up. Watch it. It's brilliant. But that's not the deal. So less and less I want to do those. I don't do fucking interviews. I'm bored with talking about me. And that's the other thing. They can't just talk about the show. I've done interviews. It's been an hour and a half. And I thought, we haven't talked about the show. They've talked about all the other shit that's going on. The fucking stupid things I say on fucking Twitter. And do you know what I mean? Because that is clickbait. Even the posh papers now are clickbait. They do a shitty headline. It'd be a great interview, and they do a shitty headline so people click on the fucking story. So I want to try and rule that out of my life. That's why I come straight to you. See, I was hoping this, right? I would never have to do another interview. I'd just say to you lot, watch the show, and you tell 10 of your friends, and that would be it, wouldn't it? So why don't I do that? That's the deal. I'll keep doing these, but you've got to do my publicity for me. You've got to. You sort of do, actually. I sell gigs out on Twitter now. I don't have to do. I've heard people spend millions on advertising, but I do a tweet, and I sold out Wembley in about 3 minutes, and so that is thanks to you. So it does work. Come direct to the public. Then you don't have to do anything. They don't have to worry about anyone fucking thinks here. You don't have to worry about what the fucking studio thinks here, what the press think here. They can't do anything. They can't stop you buying tickets and watching my show. And then everyone wants you because the public like you. So I think that's what I like doing. Cut out the middleman. Go straight to you idiots. And that's it. We win. Talking of gigs, best ever. I'm loving it. I don't know if it's still the, coronavirus factor, but it's just astounding. Like, to the point where I've said before, it's like moving. I go out and I've got a dry mouth because I've never heard a cheer like it. I think it must be that they can't believe they're out and we're back to normal as well. I'd like to think it's because I'm brilliant, but I think it's because they've been locked up for 2 years. But yeah, it's going great. I might put some more in, but by the time I've filmed it and then they hold it back and translate it into 150 languages, I could probably do some more gigs after Christmas. But we'll see. So thank you for buying the tickets. Wembley this week. Can't wait. Deborah Keenan. Would you rather be remembered for your comedy or your animal activism? Can't say both. I don't know. I just don't care, do I? Because I'll be dead. I don't know. It's weird because obviously I'm proud of both, but I suppose I'm proudest of my animal activism because that's something that's actually tangible, isn't it? But then no one would listen to me if I hadn't done comedy they liked. I don't know. I mean, that's why I get these awards for animal activism. It's not that I do more than the other people, it's that I'm more famous than the other people. Every time I get an award for Animal Activist of the Year or something, or Humanitarian of the Year, I think I know 50 people who've done more than me. They're just not famous, and I try and acknowledge them. But it's good for them as well because that I bring light to their thing. But I do try and always let people know. I'm highlighting what they're doing. So when a charity sort of, adds me in and I retweet them, they get more hits because I retweeted them, but they've done the work. They're the ones doing the work. I retweet them and give them a bit of money, but they're the ones that go to China and save bears. They're the ones that go to Afghanistan and save dogs. Do you see what I mean? All I'm doing is helping them do brilliant work, and I'm getting the credit. But but everyone knows, really. Everyone knows. I hope they know that I'm a figurehead, and they're the ones that really, it's like there are thousands of people that stand outside supermarkets every day collecting the stuff that no one knows they are. They don't get any credit. They're doing it because they're good people. What charities though? I'll tell you a charity I don't think I've talked about much that I help now and again and are struggling. Wildlife Aid. It's a bloke. His name's Simon Cowell. Not that Simon Cowell, but his name's Simon Cowell. So check out Wildlife Aid, and it makes a difference. Those little things where one person does it all, it really makes a difference. I do give to the big ones, but there's so many admin costs that your pound doesn't go to a little animal. Whereas these little ones, and All Dogs Matter, that pound, they get a pound. So I think someone just said there, in China they're putting down people's pets. If the person's got COVID, they're trying to put down their pet. Fucking idiots. Misinformation is going to be the death of humanity. People believing stupid fucking things. Rhino horns of medicine. Bollocks. It's keratin. It's just stupidity is going to wipe out the fucking world. Science works. Whatever I mean, that's the good thing about reality. It's there whether you believe it or not. But if there's enough fucking idiots not doing stuff that's right, we're fucked. Oh, God. I'd rather be remembered for my animal activism. I think in the future, with all the fucking madness and nonsense and stupid conspiracy theories, I think it will be looked back upon. I think things like bullfighting and bear baiting and enslaving whales and dolphins will be looked upon like we used to fucking torture people and put leeches down our bollocks. It'll be looked You know what I mean? I think in like 100 years' time, people look back and go, they used to do what? They used to make dolphins do tricks. That's mental. I'm hoping it will be like, that was fucking mental. I mean, to the point where I hope people will go, they used to eat, what? They used to eat animals? But we've got this beautiful grown pea protein that tastes better and makes you strong. But I don't know. What would you do for 24 hours if you ever decide, this is from Tony, what would you do for 24 hours if you ever decided to do it for charity event like Children in Need? I know, I've thought about this. Right, this is my art project, right, sponsor for 24 hours, right? I'd be in, you know, like David Blaine sort of put himself in a glass case. I'd do that, right? Or in Selfridge's window or something. Somewhere that I'm in a case, right, and all safe, and people gather around and take selfies. And I'm sitting there with a beer, and for 24 hours, everyone who comes up, I've got to say, you stupid cunt. Right? Just that. I'll break the world record for the most amount of times any one person. You stupid, you silly, you stupid fucking cunt. Right? And try and break the record. We've taken selfies. Old ladies. Oh, God. What else? What else is there? Oh, thank you. You voted for Supernature, and it's got shortlisted for the National Comedy Awards. The vote's just opened today for the shortlist. So please vote there. thenationalcomedyawards.com. So vote there. What else? Let's see if there are any more questions. I haven't seen it. I didn't give them notice today. Mr. Taco says bring Pickle on because he wants a night off. Pickle's eating. Spontaneous bird on a mission. Spontaneous combustion. Is it a thing, and what actually causes it? I don't know. Is it? I mean, is it a thing? I mean, it's possible. It's not supernatural. We've got all the elements in this that could. I'm cynical. I don't know what you'd have to do to just burst into flames. I don't know. You have to ask someone. It could start a conspiracy theory. I did I think one of the best episodes yesterday of Absolutely Mental for Series 3 with Sam Harris, and we talked about what's the factor now in human evolution. How are we being selected? Because it's obviously no longer, just strength and speed, and it's still passing on your genetic material, but what factors in choosing mates and stuff, and like even social media. We go into it depth, but I'll tell you what, I watched a great podcast. Oh, what's it called? Oh, it's two guys. They're really, I forget it. And it was a bloke called Will Storr, who I think is a journalist and a writer, talking about. So this is it. This is it in a nutshell. I probably won't do it justice, but we basically, humans gossip. Our evolution is based on it, right? So when we were little tribes, when we first got language, we'd gossip, right? We'd go, he's good at this, he's good at that, right? And that would raise his status, so we'd like him. And it was to control the group, like he's not pulling his weight, don't trust him. So that's how we built our, society really. And then when society got bigger and bigger, we couldn't control them. So that's how sort of organised religion grew in a way, because we could go, well, you've got these are the rules for everyone, for all of us, and you know, whatever you do, God's watching you or whatever, and it sort of again controlled all the tribes, and there were factors. It was all about status, because we want status. Or in a group, we always want status. Even little kids, they fight over a toy for status. They might not want the toy, but they fight over it. And traditionally, status in a tribe was usually who was the strongest, like violence. But again, with society, we sort of lost that as a factor. And there were two ways you could raise your status. One was be competent at something, be good at something. Right? He's brilliant at that. Right? He's the best at that. He's done well. The other one was virtue. Like, he's not very good at anything, but he is kind, or he is honest. So that would raise your status, right? So competence and virtue. And even religion gave that to some people, that if you weren't very good at anything, you could still have virtue, right? But with the death of sort of, organised religion, the next big thing for gossip was like journalism. People read papers and trusted them and everything. And with the death of that, now it's sort of social media. But the two factors still remain. In society, you're either good at something, he did this, it's all about reputation to raise your status, because you don't know them, you don't know the people, you can't know billions of people, so it's reputation. So he did this, he's great at that, or they're virtuous. Now, the thing is with social media is, and society, people have realised they can just lie. They don't have to be really virtuous, they can just say they are. And that's what virtue signaling is. So when someone goes online, they're trying to bring someone down. They're going, oh, he did this, I wouldn't do that. Well, we don't know that. So they're pretending they're virtuous, but they're just not. So that's, half the people online, they're just lying. And I think it was fascinating. It was just fascinating how that's a new strain, that you can be a social justice warrior and a total hypocrite. You're just bringing people down to raise because you're not competent. You haven't done anything. And that's why you find, like, in any sort of situation, people go after people who have done more than them. Do you know what I mean? You don't see Jerry Seinfeld slagging off new comedians, but you see new comedians or bitter comedians slagging off Jerry Seinfeld, because they haven't achieved, they're not competent like he is, so they're trying to bring him down to raise their status amongst their tribe, their followers. So basically, just be nice. Don't be a cunt. I've always felt like that, and I've never heard anyone put it into words like that. But I've always thought, wonder why people are trying to bring people down. Whereas if they just concentrated on their own career, they'd do better. But they've wasted their career slagging off people who've achieved more. But they would have achieved more. If they hadn't been slagging people off, they would have achieved more. Yeah. And I talk about this with Sam Harris in more depth. We've done about 4 out of the next 10. So that's the sort of thing we talk about. We talked about time travel as well on one of them. Like whether you go to the future or the past. And it's like an hour of us arguing about what would be better and all the loopholes of it. Jill Boshi says, how did you keep a straight face when David Bowie was singing that little fat man poking his face on extras? Well, I'd written the lyrics, so I knew they were coming, but I still laughed because it was just weird to have one of the greatest rock stars and my favourite musician of all time insulting me. I like insults. They make me laugh. And when someone sort of slams me on Twitter, it's like, I laugh. I go, you live in a bin, mate. Trying to raise their status. Right. That's Valerie. A birthday bollocks for Alex. Yes, happy birthday, Alex. Adriana, forgot to say we love your shite. Thank you. I think she means this. Right, that'll do, won't it? So, what are you going to do? You're going to be nice. You're going to be nice online. Tell people you like them. Don't tell. Why do you tell people you don't like them? Fuck them. Don't bother. Just say when you like someone. Tell them. Say, oh, I really like your stuff. It's nice. It spreads. It's infectious. I always like those things. Who's your favourite thing, as opposed to what do you hate? What do you hate? It doesn't matter what I hate, does it? Just keep it to yourself. That's the best vote, isn't it? Don't go. As long as we laugh when people are slagging off comedians, they haven't even seen them. They haven't gone to their show. You just heard something. So, watch Borgen. Watch Midnight Mass. If you can, check out Wildlife Aid and all the other charities still. All Dogs Matter, all the charities. I'm going to donate the charity profits of Supernature. I'm going to split that with a few things like Nowzad and Animals Asia. But give to the little ones. Give to your little local charities. Check them out. Give to your local charities. Seek the truth. Don't believe in bullshit because it's online. It's probably bollocks. Go with science and logic. And, have a beer. And vote for Supernature at the National Comedy Awards. See you at Wembley, if you're coming to Wembley. Retweet this. That's no skin off your nose, is it? And let's build up. Let's get so many followers that I don't ever have to do another interview. Cheers. Tatty bye, anyone. Tatty bye.